Right, track rod ends, as you can see, there's a left and there's a right, and they are a different shape. So the dog leg there, and the dog leg there. You must make sure you put them on the right way round. Okay, Golf Mk4. If you watched one of my early videos, you know I've changed this lower arm wishbone, whatever you want to call it. Took it to the local tyre place to get the tracking done, and they couldn't do the tracking. They couldn't undo the track rod ends. So I've had a go. I've done the other side. It took a long time. Everything was solid, and even the track rod end. I tried to undo it. The ball just snapped. So as you can see, I've done a bit of preparation. I wire brushed like crazy all this and all the threads, and the thread on there. Use plus gas, far better than WD-40. Now when I did that on the other side, it still didn't work. I had to put heat on the nut, but we're going to give it a go without heat first and see if we have any joy. Alright, again just a bit of preparation. I've measured that gap as 10 centimeters in case I forget how many times I rewind this nut. Okay, so we have here there's a square bit to put a 13mm spanner on. However, it's not very strong, so we're going to use a nice pair of stillies on there. And this nut is a 22mm nut. Unfortunately, I cut down my 22mm spanner a while ago to do the oxygen sensor and the exhaust. So my trusty adjustable will have to be used for this one. So that wants to go the other way. That was right the first time. That's going to go on there like that. Fight against that when I try and undo it. Okay. So we'll apply a bit of heat on the nut for a while. Carefully don't melt anything else. Don't want to melt any wires. This is just a cheap gas burner. You put enough heat in the other side, otherwise the heat just expands the nut, so the nut gets bigger. It also sometimes just frees up that little bit of metal to metal contact. So I'll do this for a couple of minutes, get a bit of heat in there, we'll have another go. Right, loads of heat. I'm also going to put a little bit of penetrant cutting oil on, see if it'll help cut the thread. A little bit quick though. I've jammed the stillies. So it moves. Solid. The idea is to get all the way up the thread and back again. Do that a couple of times and it'll cut its own thread. Shouldn't use adjustables, you should use a proper spanner. It's moving. Yeah, it's moving. Not very long. Try not to let it cool down too much. Oh, we're going now. That's better. See if our little span will work now. Yeah. Right. Okay. That's it. She's free. I'll go all the way up and down a couple of times, and then we'll release this. Okay, so if you can see, I've got plenty of anti-seize on the thread now. It's been up and down a couple of times. It's nice and free. It's even done by hand. Next is to remove this track rod end. So it's an 18mm nut. And that is solid. So, trusty bar. See if this one snaps like the other side. Oh, got a bit of movement. I might be in luck. That's pretty good. Bring it back around. That's still solid. I don't think it's going to snap, not like the other side did. And at the end. Nice, that's at the end. I'll leave the nut on just to protect the thread. Probably no need to be honest, because I'm changing the actual track rod end. This is the ball joint splitter. It slides on with a bit of help from Harry. Just show you that. So the ball joint splitter, it's jammed in at the top, and when I screw that thread down, it's going to push that lever, it's going to push that end and that thread up and pop the ball joint. Hopefully. Right, so you can just put a normal ratchet on if you want to, but I find a impact driver a lot easier. Do it the right way. There she goes. She's free. Just undo that nut for you now. Right, that's the nut off. Just have to spin this off. I'm just going to loosen that nut a little bit before I start. And a little bit of a turn. Comes out. That should. Oh no, it won't. Turn. Oh, right. That's not very good. That's solid. Oh. Well, the lock nut's undone, so I think we'll have to do a bit of Harry the hammer again, just to get this moving. Because that just should turn off. Right, well, you join me again. This track rod end won't come off, so heat. See if we can expand out over the rod off the thread. Now we'll give it another go. No wonder the steering and tyre place couldn't get these moving. It's taken a long time. Alright, I've been on this for 20 minutes now. Red hot, it still just will not move. The only thing I'm thinking now is to cut it off. Maybe put a slit in there very carefully so I don't do the thread, and hopefully it'll just snap off. That ought to take the whole thing out from the gearbox, put it in a vise and get some real good leverage on it, but I'm struggling now. So I've had another 5 minutes at it, can't do it, so my plan is to just cut a slit along there to try and weaken it, and then hopefully either it'll break off or it'll just be enough to weaken it and it'll be able to turn. Last resort. Alright, don't know if you can tell or not, but there's a nice cut along there. Not quite on the thread, not far off though. So I'll put a bit more heat on it and I'll give it another go. Okay, you rejoin me. I've had to cut several slots in that arm. Plenty of heat and I've got it moving. But it did take some doing that. So cut a few slots and got the Stilsons on it and it's moving. Still absolutely solid. And I've absolutely ruined this track rod end. But it's moving. A bit of lubricant in there. So these must have been on when the car was built, which was 20 years ago. I was supposed to count how many turns. I don't know how many turns that is. But at least the lock nut's marked up, so I know where the lock nut goes to. Assuming that these are the same size as the new ones, should be a straightforward swap. No. Well, it's going to get tracked anyway. So I've had the wire brush on it. Give it a really good wire brush. Check the thread's okay. Where I cut, you know, but it's all okay. Plenty of anti-seize on. Same with the new one. Put it around the edge as well. And then it's just a case of screwing this on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, Oh, it's getting tight again. Right, so that's tight again, so I'm going to have to go on and off a couple of times, just get that thread nice and clean again.